Hello everybody, my name is James Elliott and I run Elliott Antique Clocks Limited, and I also run the eBay shop, the Horology Centre. And today I'd like to show you this magnificent Carriage clock, signed by Breguet, numbered by Breguet. Movement is also signed by Breguet and also numbered. As you can see, the dial is fully signed and also has its serial number. Really attractive centre engraved sort of cartouches. I'm not sure if that's the word, but there we are. The dial is absolutely untouched. I just took some of the tarnish off around the mask and gave it a very light clean. Obviously you have to be very careful because these numerals are painted on, and if you over cleaned it, you'd lose the numerals, you'd lose all that original signature. Again, the case in this really nice silvered finish, all original. All I've done is given it a light clean over, solid back door. There's a small ding there on the side, on the corner of one of the pillars. There's a very light mark coming across the door, but for a solid door, I mean, you're not going to really see one in better condition. Normally they get knocked around. Normally the hinge becomes quite loose. So they flap around and get knocked about. There's the wonderful movement. Interesting that it's on a bell, because this is a slightly, I say later clock. It's got sort of later designs, late 19th century designs to it, but it's on a bell. So this would have been perhaps, you know, some of the last clocks that were made on bells before they were sort of moved over to the gong. And what a bell it is! It really sounds magnificent. Let's open that up fully. And we can see the Breguet signature. I've taken a closer image of that, a more sort of detailed close-up image of that. So I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up. There we are, Breguet, and followed by the number, and that really beautiful engraving, exactly how you'd expect Breguet to sign his clocks, in the manner that it's still done today on the modern watches. So it's an hour repeater with an alarm, silver dial. The escapement is really top notch. It's very, very high quality. Let's listen to this bell. It's a really sweet bell. It's the clock itself is really minute. It's, I mean, you can probably tell by the size of it compared to my hand. I mean, my hand is not the largest hand you'll ever likely to see, but let's measure it so we can see for ourselves. It's 9.5 centimeters tall. That's not including the brackets and carrying handle. With the brackets and carrying handle, right to the top of the handle, it's 12.5 centimeters tall. So that's the smallest repeater I've ever seen. It's really such a dinky movement to fit all that sort of complication in there with the alarm, the repeater, the strike. That's really quite magnificent. It's fully unwound at the moment, so I timed this video quite well. We'll wind the clock and see it running. Obviously the strike side is wound, otherwise we wouldn't be listening to it. There's the time side with the alarm barrel, movement barrel, all been fully restored. Looks absolutely magnificent, and the clock just runs so well, as we will discover. I'll just take this off here. Now I'm holding the camera just in my hand, so excuse any camera shake. So here we are, onto the time side. Just put a wee little bit of power on there, just so you can see how it runs with that small amount of power applied. You can see it's absolutely banging away. It's absolutely all original. See, we've got its base plate. And the finish, I couldn't believe how well this finish had come up. It was looking very sad. So let's fully wind it. That's probably about 3/4 of a wind on there, and we'll see the clock pick up even more so as we wind. Whoops. That's the problem, looking through a viewfinder and concentrating on what you're doing. Whoa. Didn't mean to do that. That's the problem when you've only got one hand. Absolutely sumptuous little thing. And obviously very uncommon to find clock signed by Breguet. You can just see how good that condition is. It's really, there are obviously, you know, the odd marks here and there. There's a slight chip in the inside of the glass on the side there, but it's an original glass, so I wanted to keep it original. But anybody wanting that replaced, that's not a problem. I left the repeating knob ever so slightly tarnished, just because you know, that is the area that's going to tarnish most. So it's nice to see it that sort of contrast, and leaving it like that. Not everything has to be polished to a high finish, and the case hasn't been either. It's not absolutely gleaming, as you can see. So there we have it, an absolutely delightful clock. What I'll do is just pop the key on the handset, and we can go around and see the various we'll hear the various strikes being rang out. You can hear the alarm activating there, but it's not wound. I mean, we could perhaps just give that a little wind just so we can see that it's working correctly. So that's all as it should be. And then let's come up to 12 and we'll finish this video. Marvellous, marvellous. So as I mentioned at the start of the video, the clock's just been I put it in the case about half an hour ago. So the clock's not available for sale just yet. It's going to require 3 or 4 weeks of testing before we can let this one go. But you know in your heart of hearts how well it runs. But you really always need to test it. The acid test is the most important test, as they say. So there we have it, a really fine Breguet clock, which is not going to really be a great deal of money for a Breguet clock, which is always a bonus for those collectors out there. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Bye for now.